party down, location mysterious. Wanna rock this con like my man James Tiberius. Jesse and Marina, they're mad clever like the Negus. Gonna guide you through the scenes, beam from London to Las Vegas. Where to go, how to dress, when to sleep, who to see. Celebs not to miss, Sardis Wong and SMG. Star Trek into awesome, build some memories at last. Set the proper course, the Shore Leave Podcast. Boom.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 71 of Shore Leave, your Star Trek Convention Community Podcast. I'm Marina Kravchuk, one of your co-hosts, and with me, as always, the wonderful Jesse Akendo. How are you, Jesse?
Hey, great. And I hear we have something good to talk about today, Marina. What are we here?
Yes. Well, we try. So we have actually a very special guest with us today, Derek Maki. And Derek, would you like to talk about yourself a little bit? Introduce yourself.
Talk about myself. Yeah, sure, no problem. My name's Derek Maki. I'm the president of Coolwaters Productions, LLC, which is an appearance management company. We've been an appearance management company as well as a film production company. And we kind of split it into two when I realized that the two worlds needed to have two separate entities. So anyway, see, that's what ends up happening. I talk about my films, and you want to hear about the actors. So Coolwaters Productions is a management company. We've been in business for 25 years, and we primarily focus on bringing actors from well-known franchises like Star Trek, Star Wars, Hellboy, you name it, to fan conventions all around the world. And that is our specialty. So we're not an acting agency where we submit our actors for work in film, which is a lot of people confuse the two. So and our speciality allows us to dedicate a lot of time to negotiating the proper contracts with the promoters, building relationship with the promoters, because relationships are important, as well as taking care of our talent and being very hands-on with them in one-on-one. Unfortunately, I've seen so many acting agencies try to do what we do, and they send their actors to conventions, and the actors are sitting in the green room twiddling their thumbs, or they're panicked not knowing what they're doing. We take care of everything for our clients. That's why our clients love us, because they're like, we'll just hire Derek, and once we do, we don't have to think. And once they join with us, they realize just how great that is. So 25 years traveling the world. I've been very lucky that the promoters bring my talent to the shows, and then we get to go with them, and we get to see the world. So it's really fantastic meeting the fans. I enjoy meeting most of the fans out there who are not trying to suck up to me and become my friend because of that's the worst part of it. But the genuine fans who just want to hang out and get to know you and share their passion for the event that we're at. So if it's a Star Trek convention, Star Wars convention, or just a multi-Comic-Con in general where there's a mix of everybody, we really enjoy doing it. So
well, that's fantastic, because we this is a podcast about conventions, and this is a part of the industry we haven't tapped into, so I'm so excited to have you here. So
yeah, absolutely. Just on the personal level, I'm curious to know, you have your own fandom, I would think. Considering that you attend conventions, both obviously.
I think it's Indiana Jones. Is that?
But that's actually
I'm calling from my office, so everything that's in my office is related to a client. So Harrison Ford is one of our clients. That poster is actually from the very, 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 very first signing he ever did ever.
Amazing.
And that was So, and I've got it's framed, and there's a nice picture of him right here signing the poster, and then up here there's a picture of him and my mom and I together.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't usually show people, but
no, please do. I would love to meet him. This is great. Oh, that is tremendous.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so everything in my office is related to a client in some way. So we have like up here on the wall, if you can see,
all the Funkos, yes.
Yeah, and what's funny is the way we got into the Pops, we're a family-run business. So my mom is the VP, and she's our accountant. My husband is my personal assistant, and he is also a rep. And my mom is a rep, and we have a few employees that are part-time that go out. And we were actually at an event with Carrie Fisher, and Carrie was very all over the place. And when she got tired of sitting and signing, she would just kind of jump up and say, I'm going to go take a walk or whatever. Anyway, we were at this event and she did that. She jumped up and she said, I'm going to go take a walk. I'll be back in a minute. Well, that usually meant 20 minutes or half an hour. And we're like, here, you really, she had a line a mile long. And so she just started to walk off. So my husband looked at me and I just kind of looked at him and I went, well, just go with her and just make sure that, people don't bother her and get her back here as quickly as you can. So he just kind of followed her to just, make sure she was all right. And she stopped at a dealer's booth and saw a pop, and she took a pop, and it was a Princess Leia one. And she looked at Alberto, my husband, and said, do you have a pen, a marker? And she signed it, and then she gave him the pen and the pop, and then she just kept walking. My husband's kind of like got the pop in his hand, and he looked at the dealer of the booth, and the dealer is looking, and she's like, did she want to buy that or whatever? And my husband's like, I have no idea. And he's like, you know what? Keep the pop. It'll be a story to tell someone that Princess Leia robbed me. And so he took the pop home, and it was just sitting on his desk for the longest time. And then when Carrie passed away, my husband was kind of looking at it, and it makes a good story. So he's like, he goes, I think I'm going to start getting all of the clients to sign pops for me. So ever since then, any client that has a pop, he's gotten them to sign it, and now it's joined the wall of our office. We have
That's amazing.
A ton of them. And so,
awesome.
And when you ask me if I'm a fan, I grew up, when I was little, I was a fan of Star Wars. Star Wars was my favorite. That's actually how I got into this business. I was part of the Men Behind the Masks tour and repped David Prowse, who played Darth Vader, Jeremy Bullock, who played Boba Fett, Warwick Davis, who plays Wicket, Kenny Baker, who plays R2-D2, and a couple of others. And then it's a long story, but anyway. So yeah, I was a fan like that growing up, and then when I got into the business, I moved to Hollywood to become rich and famous. I moved to be an actor, and I kind of fell into this through work that I was doing at Universal Studios. I was head of promotions at City Walk, and we used to get actors to come up there, and one of the actors that we had was Billy D. Williams. And I kind of stayed in touch with him after that appearance, and then our relationship kind of grew, and it just became this thing where he's like, I think I want you to work for me and do these convention things that I heard about. We should do them and make some money, right? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I kind of took a side seat to my acting and directing, and kind of did this. But Coolwaters still does film production, just very minimal right now. I'm with COVID. What's great is I've been writing, so we can ramp up again. And then this year we're actually celebrating the 15th anniversary of my film Instant Dads. And right now we have a new distributor for the film so that we can get it back on the platforms like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, because it was on Amazon at one point, and then distribution gave up, and now we're going back again. And we're also doing a limited edition DVD release of it, which will have a special collector's book, and where we've added new bonus material that wasn't on the original DVD for behind the scenes. And there's a welcome video from me, and we're doing a collector's book that's going to go with it. And the book shows never before seen pictures from our film and stuff like that. And all of that stems from fandom as well. Like you guys are asking me, if I'm a fan, I loved when VHSs existed, and they figured, VHSs are X amount of minutes long, and why, the last bit of the tape always got used up with just static. So when studios caught on that deleted scenes or bloopers might be cool, they added them. But the worst thing was you had to fast forward through the whole film to see it. Well, lo and behold, that all kind of that totally changed when DVD came into play, and obviously Blu-ray now. So production companies are filling their DVDs with stuff. So that's what we've decided to do with my film. My film's a dramatic film. It's not a genre film. It's not a sci-fi flick or something like that. Like it'll never have. We'll never say never, but it's never gonna have a billion fans like Star Wars or Star Trek. But because of that fandom and what I liked to see when I bought a DVD, I figured, I'm gonna give anybody that buys my DVD something special and just give them an insight to what it went into making an independent film. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. So going back to, basically you said you started with Star Wars. So at what point was that like a conscious decision? Okay, let's see if the company is going to spread out to other franchises, other genres, or that just came along naturally as you started to go to the various convention events?
It came along naturally. We had people who word of mouth, like Billy D would say, oh, I've got a guy, you should talk to him. Or they would see it as a convention. Here, I'll give you, here's a good story. Doug Jones, who you all know as Saru from Star Trek Discovery. He's one of my dear friends, and he was a client first, but he's become family. I mean, we consider him family. He's just this amazing human being. I actually met Doug. It's almost 15 years. With him, it's probably 13 years, maybe 14, at a convention in, I think it was Germany, and I was there with Dave Barclay, who is the puppeteer for Jabba the Hutt and helped for Yoda, and he worked on the Dark Crystal and all these things. And my company is very specific with how we do things, and we're very professional. Like, it's not just throw a couple of pictures on the table and here we go. And we were actually seated next to Doug, and he kind of watched us all weekend long and was like, who the hell am I sitting next to? Like, Doug had just finished doing Pan's Labyrinth and, was nominated for an Oscar, the whole 9 yards. And Doug's looking over at Dave Barclay going, who is this guy? And why does he have this tall guy behind him running around with like a chicken with its head cut off, helping him? And at one point I went over to Doug's table, because I like to walk the room, like if we're on a break, and just kind of see who the other guests are and introduce yourself. You always want to be friendly to your fellow con, attendee. Introduce yourself. And when I went over, what was really interesting is I had just seen Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah. And it's actually one of my favorite films of all time, even to this day. It's in my top 10. And the film, of course, is in Spanish. My husband is Mexican, so he's Spanish. And when we went to see the film, he didn't want to see it because he's like, well, it's in subtitles. I'm going to have to read it. Because we didn't know it was in Spanish. We got there, it was in Spanish, and he was like on cloud 9, and he thought the film was great too. So when I saw Pan's Labyrinth photos on Doug's table, I started to act like a fan and started freaking out, like, oh my God, you're that guy? We just saw your movie. Oh, and I went off, and he was blown away with how excited I was. So he signed a picture for my husband for me to take home. And then when all that was over, he kind of looked at me and he's like, and what exactly do you do? Like, who are you? And I told him, and he's like, oh, yeah, I don't have a guy like you. Okay, maybe we should talk. So throughout the rest of the weekend, that happened on Friday. Throughout the rest of the weekend, we had VIP parties to go to and stuff, and Doug and I were constantly running into each other. And when we left the convention on Monday morning, I gave him my number, and I said, I know you mentioned you don't have a guy like me. Yeah. Maybe we should have a chat. So when we got back to LA about a week later, I got a phone call from him, and he took me to dinner, and it was literally to vet me to see if I was someone he wanted to hire to be on the Doug Jones team. And he did. And he's been with us ever since, and he adores us, and we adore him, and we work our butts off for him. But it's stuff like that. Like, that's sometimes how it happens. You've got someone who's interested in looking at what you're doing. And again, I run things with the utmost professional status that you possibly could. And it, I guess it transcends. So.
That's wonderful.
We heard about you through a mutual friend, and we wanted to talk to you about InHouse-Con, right? Because so we're like everybody else. This whole virtual thing is just, we're adjusting, especially me. So I'm trying to get used to it.
Yes, compared to Jesse, I probably hit most of the events so far that they've been.
Marina's always doing something, but like, I'm really curious. So how have you had to change the way you work to manage your clients through these virtual events?
Well, managing is nothing. I mean, the management part is still the same. You negotiate terms, you write contracts, and that's it. So that part doesn't change. What happened was, the reason we started InHouse-Con was because pandemic really hit in March, and around April, we had a few events that said, oh, we're going to try going virtually, because they knew they were going to cancel. Everyone thought it was going to cancel like 2 or 3 months worth of events. And so they came to us, and the deals were horrible. And we ended up kind of not doing them. We tried one, and, it was all right. And I'm not going to say names because it's just not worth it. But anyway, I wasn't really overly impressed. And then I was kind of sitting there going, wait a minute, why am I negotiating for less money, basically, to have my clients do an event when I could just do it on my own? So I hired Tyler, who I'm assuming is the mutual friend that you're talking about.
Yes.
And he's brilliant.
Shout out to Tyler. Thank you.
We've had other, dealings, but anyway, I hired him to help me with it. And I decided to do the event on my own. And then I'm glad that we did, because as time went on now, we've lost 7 months worth of conventions.
Yeah.
It looks like we're going to lose the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And the difference with our event is that because I know my clients so well, I'm a lot more comfortable with them and can ask other questions that maybe don't get asked at events. Plus, I'm, you know, being from an acting history, I'm also very comfortable being on camera and hosting and keeping things going. I'm a big ham. I can be like, when we're doing stuff like this, I'm being very professional, and I'm not here to make jokes and crack jokes. That's not why I'm here, but I can be very animated. And so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do it on my own. And maybe if there are some other virtual events out there that we still want to join and want to be part of, fine. We'll, you know, we can pick and choose them as they come, but why not just do our own platform on our own, and we reap all the benefits. We reap all the rewards. We reap all the money, as well as the client. And that's kind of how it all happened. And all of my clients to date have been extremely supportive. I mean, I've had, you know, Doug's been on the show, and he's a big name. Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters been on the show. He's a big name. And, you know, I've got some others that we're working on, and we've had an event every weekend since the first weekend in May. We took 4th of July off, can't lie. But every other weekend we have had, usually on Saturdays, we advertise it as an hour-long panel. We've never lasted an hour. It's always been an hour and a half, and a couple of them went a full 2 hours. Wow. With people wanting more, like people who are watching were typing in going, no, don't log off. Because I always say we're about to wrap up, you know, and there you get the comments in Zoom. No, don't. We love this. We love this. Stay longer. And, you know, we can't. I mean, we have, you know, the actors have their families, and I've got my family as well. And we, you know, during the event, we do video chats after the event, rather, we do video chats. So you can buy one-on-one video chats, 5 minutes long. We're the only virtual convention that does 5 minutes. Most of them are
2 minutes. Yeah.
We pride ourselves on 5-minute video chats with the clients that participate, and most of them do. And then we also offer autographs, and we don't charge anything different for the autograph than what we do at a convention. And that's something else that these other virtual events are doing, because again, they're trying to make $1. So, you know, if celebrity A charges $40 for an autograph, when you come to our virtual event, it's $40 plus shipping and handling. Yeah. These other virtual events, because they have to pay out, they want to make something on top, they're charging more for it. So the benefit of coming through us is that you're not paying more for the autograph. You're getting the autograph at what you would have if you went to a convention. And again, that was what I was trying to do, is I wanted to bring the convention experience on a Zoom platform like this to fans, and not gouge them for it either, you know, and that's important. And what we do, you know, our autographs are good because I think they're all, we've already entered them all. Our autographs they're Beckett certified, and Beckett, for an autograph collector, Beckett's like the biggest name that you can have. So they're Beckett certified. And most of them come with a picture of the celebrity signing the autograph, or at least a picture from the signing itself. So we make it, I have to show you one, because otherwise, hold on, let me have Alberto go grab one. Hey, Alberto. Alberto, come here for a minute. So just so you guys can see, because again, it's something we pride ourselves on that, the other conventions are not doing. So this is what makes us a benefit to anyone that tunes in, is that, and here's the thing, some fans, can you do me a favor, go in the garage and grab a Doug Saru Beckett certified from InHouse-Con. Any Saru one, I don't care, as long as it's a Beckett one. So here, I'll show you a Doug one. But, you know, again, without naming names, some of the other conventions are not providing the best experience to their fans. And we've heard it, like people on Facebook or people that have tweeted or Instagrammed us or whatever, they're like, we've been to many virtual events and yours is the best. You have to keep doing them. And I'm like, hey, that's great, but you need to get the word out, because the downfall is, and this is why I'm talking to you guys today, is we need to get our numbers up. You know, we're not a multi-million-dollar corporation like a Wizard World who has thousands upon thousands of dollars to put into advertising. We are relying on our clients to spread the word, and for interviews that I've done to get the word out there that this is what our event is, this is what you can expect. And it's something that's very unique and you'll enjoy. something else that I was able to do with my event that other events have not. We have exclusive content that other events do not have, because I am able to ask my actors to provide it to our events only. So some of them do show and tell. They have like a prop they want to show, or a script, or a photo album, or they do a behind the scenes photo that they've never shown, and they'll send us the image, and we'll do a screen share so people get a real nice crisp image of it. So we have exclusive content. We've had surprise guests come to shows. So the first Star Trek Discovery event that we did,
that was a great one. I attended that. And
good. I'm glad you did. That had Doug was the headliner, and then we had Patrick, and who was on that show? Hannah.
Yes.
And
the doctor.
Raven.
Yeah, Raven Dowder.
Raven's first event. That was Raven's first event.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, while we were doing, the day before we were doing it, I decided to text Sam Bartholomew and say, Sam, I know this isn't planned, but do you think you could spare me 10 minutes tomorrow at such and such a time? And he's like, yeah, for what? And I told him, he's like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. And as you saw.
Yeah, and he just popped up and everybody just went.
Popped up. It was and I wish we could have heard the applause. And the best thing was, he had one of the best exclusives to date that we've ever featured on InHouse-Con. He had these plates that were done from the special effects team that were the panels for his keypad and whatever, and he was showing like these original like prop things, and I was blown away. And the cool thing is, we offer autographs of our surprise guests as well. So if you're watching the show, we always leave the autographs live during the entire show and then the next day, so that some people are like, I don't know who this person is, I don't want to buy an autograph, but then after they watch the show, same as meeting them in person at a con or listening to them on a live panel, they say, oh, I didn't know how cool they were, I'm totally going to go meet them now and buy an autograph. So we do the same thing. We offer the autographs, even of our surprise guests, and again, so far everyone has been very happy. What do you mean we don't have it?
Oh no.
Just give me that one. We have Saru's, but all right. So here is a picture that Doug did. Okay, so this is a signed Abe Sapien.
Yep.
Yeah.
And along with it, there's a Beckett authentication sticker on the back, and that authentication sticker, of course, matches the COA. Whoops, I have it backwards. And then we also do a picture of the celebrity signing photo.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, that is just tremendous.
We are able to do this because this is our clients, and trust me, some of these other events out there, they're gonna copy us. This will be, but we're the first. We're the first. We've done a lot of firsts in this industry. My company, we were one of the first companies to offer more than 4 photos to choose from at a convention. Some of our clients have 10 to 12 photos. People like Doug and Billy D. Williams have 50 photos to choose from.
Wow.
We were also the first company to offer other product at a convention. So if a client had a toy, like Pops right now are popular. Anyone that has a Pop from our client roster, we have an account with Funko. We order them and we sell them at the conventions. So, these are all things that I pride myself on to make my company stand out above the rest. And, I guess if people copy us, they say imitation is the biggest form of flattery. Fine, I'll take that, but I think you should also come up with your own stuff. But
Very true.
So Marina, you've been to a lot of the virtual stuff. I mean, how? I'm not asking you to rate them by any means, but
no, go ahead. No, I want you to rate me. Don't sugarcoat it. Be honest.
No,
what are your thoughts, Marina? Because you've been to more of these than I have, and I know that how they are.
Here's the thing: is that it's fascinating, but they are indeed everything is different, and there are right now about, I'm thinking, I don't know, 5-6 entities that produce. I mean, if we're talking specifically about Star Trek content, that had Star Trek presence in their virtual events, including Coolwaters, and it is interesting because what Derek was talking about. The difference of the subject matter that's been discussed, because there have been some panels that are obviously geared towards more sort of the public that has never had any kind of exposure to a convention-like event. So the questions tend to be very generic, sort of on the level of what is your favorite episode, that type of thing. And then, of course, with in-house, it was different. Actually, I really, really enjoyed that particular panel. It was different because it was a unique event. It was the first time that it was anybody that's ever actually heard about InHouse-Con on the Star Trek convention circuit, so to speak. So it's exciting to have things that are unique, that are different from everything else, and I highly recommend that people do check out. It is very daunting because we do have a lot of stuff available online, especially probably, I'm assuming, in the coming months as new track actually gets released, because we have two series. Well, one is already out actually as we're recording this. Lower Decks has premiered. So definitely, guys, check it out. You know, this is great. So as specifically for InHouse-Con, we have a discovery panel coming up this weekend. So the date that's August 8th.
August 8th. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are 4 special guests. There's Sarah Mitic, Hannah Spear, David Benjamin Tomlinson, and Michael Kravik. So this is exciting. I'm looking forward to this. You know, yet another convention a version of convention experience. So, yeah.
So Derek, can you go into like what's been kind of so everybody kind of has a burn-in before they find their groove and something new, right? How has did you have like some moments that are like, whoops, and it's live yeah.
We do it every week. We have some oops thing that happens. I mean, that's part of the fun of doing it live as well. And I mean, we're not scripted. We have a breakdown, like Tyler and I write up a little chart. It's just one page, and it's basically for me to follow along and hit the key points that I need to hit for the show. But other than that, it's totally unscripted, and we tell the actors to have it to keep it casual and to be entertaining. We want it to be a little bit different. So that's definitely. But every week something weird. Look, I mean, as much as I like to claim that I know my clients, I don't know them all perfectly. And every week there's almost something new that I learned that it's like, you were in that, or you weren't, or you did what? And I'm jotting notes down to go back after. Like, I've got a list of movies to watch of clients that I didn't know that either were in it or whatever. So and we're very honest about it on the show. Like, I don't make any qualms or pretend to be someone I'm not. If a client says, "Oh, I did," and I'll flat out say right there live on the air, "I had no idea you did that. Oh my God, why didn't you tell me? This is with other conventions." And that's what the viewers like, as well as myself, because otherwise I would get bored.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts? So Marina and I've had this conversation more than once about. So we've started this virtual experience, and Marina and I've actually talked to people because we've hosted sessions before. And we talked to people who had never been to a convention because either physically or financially, there's a reason they can't get there. And so the virtual convention is like their first entry, and they love it. And, of course, then they're concerned, well, all this is over, the virtual is going to go away. And Marina and I kind of had this talk more than once, like, now that we've started a virtual, platform, is that something you think it's going to continue even if we get back to general conventions?
I mean, here's the thing: we need to go back to normal conventions because we need the human interaction. We need to be out exploring. I mean, we can't. I'm literally like, today is a very bad day. I'm tired. I didn't sleep good last night. We were looking for something in the office. Today's just a crap day. Like, when I'm done, I'm going to go have a drink. I got to get out of the house. But at the end of the day, I understand what you're saying. And here's the thing. I'm toying with the idea that maybe when we do go back to a form of normalcy, that perhaps we try to do some sort of virtual event once a quarter, just for the sake of doing it, because now that we've got the platform and it's out there, why not? It'll certainly, give us something to do especially during a slow quarter. The winters are always slow. December, January, what do you do? So, I'm looking into how the future is going to progress. If we end up being at home longer than like January, then I don't know what we're going to do, because the other downfall is people are not going to have money for stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
And unfortunately, we're all in this to make money. I mean, I'm doing InHouse-Con not just because I have the time, but this is my job. And with no conventions, I am making $0. So I needed something to help me, and I'm an independent business, so I'm not eligible for we call it unemployment or whatever. It doesn't work that way with someone like me. And I'm not a multi-million-dollar company who got a bailout when they didn't need it, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I need it to survive. So I can't keep doing it this way unless I start getting, you know, 1,000 viewers or 2,000 viewers every episode. I mean, you know, we're not getting that right now. And again, that's why I'm doing this interview with you guys. Not that I'm not enjoying it. This is, you guys have been a hoot. Part of the reason I'm doing it is to spread the word. I need to feel love, and I need to get the word out there and have people go, you know what, I'm going to try it. And you know what, here's the thing, you try and you don't like it. Do you ever have to tune in again? Of course not. But why not look at it once? Now, here's the thing. We toyed with not doing this, and finally I caved in. All of our previous episodes are on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, and we always wait 2 weeks before we post because we want, you know, we don't want everybody to say, oh, we'll just wait till it's on YouTube.
Just wait.
Yeah.
You know, and because, you know, I need to do that. But anyway, it is on YouTube. So people that want to go back and catch that previous disco one or some of our other, you know, we've had 4 Star Wars events. We've had, you know, other events. They can go back and watch it. And it's very intriguing. It's very interesting to watch. And we do have autographs available of our actors. Now, you can't get them personalized when you go back and watch, and then you get them out of our store. But at least if you're an autograph collector, you can still purchase autographs from us because we get them to sign additional autographs for us to have for the missed the event. So, you know, that's always a good thing as well. But and then the YouTube channel, we've got some other things planned. You know, here's the thing. You know how I was talking about earlier, how I'm always ahead of the game and I'm always kind of like coming up with new ideas. When all this podcast stuff first started, like years ago, I saw the market for it, and I actually did 18 episodes of a TV series or an online TV series called Coolwaters Live, which is basically the exact same thing we're doing right now with the InHouse-Con, except we didn't offer autographs, but it was a live, kind of like a Tonight Show panel, and it was one guest live on a little set in my home on camera. And our clients are coming. Billy D. Williams was on that. Ernie Hudson was on that. Doug Jones was on that. Like they were supportive of me then. But this was the thing. This was before people really understood what podcasts and having a social presence was all about. So I was ahead of the curve. I did it and then didn't stick with it long enough in order to have the legs that some of the people have now. If I was able to stick with it, I'd be in a totally different position right now. But again, we had other stuff that we were doing, and at the time we were doing it, we actually had someone who bought the show from me and wanted to produce more episodes, and then it all fell apart. They didn't keep their part of the contract, and then we just never went back to doing it. And I've actually had fans ask me, you know, are you ever going to go back to it? So now InHouse-Con is kind of like a hybrid of it. But yeah, I was ahead of the game then, and now here I am again doing it. And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to release some of those old Coolwaters Live episodes on our YouTube channel, and because they've never been seen before, and back then, no one, again, the ability to record stuff, it was all new. No one knew what was going on. So I think we're going to put some of the episodes on YouTube, and you know, people can go back and compare now, kind of how things were then and how they are now. And so we'll see what the future holds. But
that's awesome. I know Marina and I. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, now this week for Star Trek Universe, we're doing a costume contest. Wow. So any of your listeners or viewers or whatever you call them who are going to participate. Now, here's the thing. All ticket sales stop Friday at midnight. So if you don't, if you're watching this and then you're like, I'll think about it, maybe tomorrow. Friday at midnight is it. You can't wake up Saturday morning and buy a ticket to the event. So you need to make a decision now. Now, once you make that decision, we are going to be having a costume contest for Star Trek this weekend where we're asking people to send in photos of themselves in costume. We're going to pick the best of the best that we like, and then we're going to show those ones on screen and have everybody vote, and we're going to give away a prize. So that is something that we're doing this coming weekend. So
that's awesome.
I
know.
I didn't mean to cut you off earlier.
So. No worries. No. I'm just saying, Marina and I we've done a podcast before, but then when this all happened, I know one day we just said, hey, let's do something live. Let's do something different. And this is really when we found out that people listen to us. Because like we just talk and We never kept track of who's listening or how many downloads or anything. And then the first video went to like 900 people, and I'm like, holy crap. But
well, it's a different dynamic when you're doing it live, of course.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, some of my friends who are regulars on convention circuit,
she'll come back.
they have very kind of two-sided relationship with virtual events, where if they missed the live broadcast, seeing the video still feels odd to them because it doesn't translate into like a convention experience. At least live, you have some sort of, okay, it's actually happening now. I'm experiencing it now. So that is a definite plus, of course, of live broadcasts via Zoom, via YouTube, whatever platform that people can use.
Because I think you hit the nail. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's like, when you're doing this live, you actually, especially when we've had like 50 people on or something, you get that reaction, that real time. Exactly. And so I don't get that when I'm sitting some of the virtual events, because I only see who's on the screen and I don't have the people around me to cheer,
Well, I always try to type in my questions. I rarely get through, but I try.
That I miss is the cheering, but we do have our chat room on Zoom, which is where all the fans just chat with each other. It's constantly going. And then we have the Q&A part, and I always make sure to tell people, if you want to hear your question, make sure you put your name. And if we do screen the questions, and if it's an acceptable question, I always say, the name wants to know, so blah, blah, blah. And the actors answer it live. And most of them are good to say, like if the guy's name was John, okay, John wants to know. Well, the actor will usually go, well, John, here's the answer. So it makes it very personable that they're feeling like they're really part of this live in the moment, here we go. So it's,
That's awesome. I think I'm going to have to check it out before I'll have to buy a ticket.
You definitely do.
Well, I've got a costume that will win. I'm just saying.
You have to bring out the Greena again.
I don't have to bring out Greena again.
So Jesse actually cosplayed as a completely fully made up Orion girl, to be more specific.
Green paint all up and down and the biggest boobs I've ever seen.
Yeah. But as far as just experiencing live, definitely, again, our listeners, our viewers, because this is actually in the video form, it is definitely something to check out. I mean, if you listen to previous episodes, my stance on this. I am very much in for the virtual content because, first of all, this is the only thing that's available at the moment. And it's still a form of experience, a form of way of maintaining the fandom, maintaining the communications between the fans and the actors. So I think it's a tremendous thing to have. Is there anything else, Jesse, you wanted to bring up? Because I think we pretty much covered everything that we wanted to ask.
I think we want to go over again what's coming up next for InHouse-Con.
So absolutely. So definitely, guys, check it in, especially as far as Star Trek is concerned. We have a Discovery panel coming up on August 8th. But generally speaking, I literally have actually the website open right now. The things that are available through InHouse-Con, extremely impressive. Do check it out. And we will include the link in the video description when we post, so people can actually access and check out the information.
Well, I think I'm going just because Derek, the special guest, whatever it is. I know I'm going to find one.
Listen, I just noticed that you're going to have a special signing with Pat Carroll. That just literally knocked me out. So please.
Derek,
for those who don't know who Pat Carroll is, it's the voice of Ursula in The Little Mermaid, which is one of my favorite villain characters ever. So yeah, not very Star Trek, but it's definitely something out there. So
she's a rare person to get an autograph from. So we're happy to be able to strike that deal with her. So
it's amazing. It's amazing.
Derek, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, this is my Friday because I worked last weekend like 48 hours straight, and I said, Marina, do we really have to do this? And I'm happy we did. But I too am going to go enjoy a drink.
We want to do this. This is fun. Come on, good.
A wine is a waiting.
I really appreciate you guys allowing me to come on and chat. It's been great. You guys are a hoot. I love it. And I appreciate the support. And I hope that you guys and your viewers will join us the rest of August and some dates coming up in September. So
absolutely. Well, we will definitely spread far and wide as far as we go, and word of mouth is great on the Star Trek community. So yeah.
All right. So Derek, where can people find you online, just very quickly?
Yes, we're at InHouse-Con.com. That's the official website for InHouse-Con. So InHouse, one word, -Con. or coolwatersproductions.com. All the information is on both those sites. And tickets are, as I said, they're live right now for video chats, autographs, and tickets to the virtual event for all of our events in August. So including Star Trek, which is this weekend, so don't delay.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Jesse, where can people find you online?
Oh, I'm at this little thing called Facebook, Jesse Okendo, and I'm on Twitter as Outrageous Okendo, and you can we'll post that all because it's too long for me to tell you.
And you can find
Marina,
me.
what about you?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under my full name, or using handle at Dracorex, DRAKKOREX. And of course, Shoreleaf can be found both on Facebook under our very long name, or simply at Shoreleaf on Twitter. And again, Derek, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a wonderful chat, and I hope numbers will be up because.
Oh, we'll get you there.
Come on, guys, it's Star Trek. You know, we've got to participate.
Yeah.
Again, so thank you very much, and hopefully more will be coming. I mean, I'm looking forward to more panels.
Yeah, live long and prosper, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Yes, live long and prosper, guys.